All right, guys. Here's a little Mandela effect. It affects a smaller number of people than a lot of the other ones, but it does affect some people. And those who have this memory, I do not, but those who do have very specific details. It has to do with people having vivid memories of a technology that we don't have readily available today in this reality, and that has to do with teleportation. So you will find that it's not going to be common, and you might ask a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to give you the same answer. Nope, never heard of it. No, don't know what you're talking about. Seen it in the movie, but eventually, if you try this and you're asking around and you're asking people, do you remember do you ever remember learning about scientists teleporting an apple? The key is going to be the teleportation of an apple. That a small percentage of people have experienced a reality where that was real in their world. Like, and now there's gonna be people who, if you ask them about this Apple thing, there are going to be people who are like, yeah, I remember that actually. Cool, dude. But when you ask them, now I'm not trying to like stereotype anyone. I was using that as just an example. Hell, I talk like that sometimes. Why not, right? So anyway, so you ask somebody, and you're like, yeah, I remember that. But a certain amount of people who say, yeah, I remember an apple being teleported, are going to be remembering a TV show, a movie, a book, but not referencing an actual visceral, physical experience of living in a reality where that shit happened. Then there will be others who indeed have a very clear memory of news broadcasts, specials on TV, people being talking about it at work the next day. Oh my god, they did it. They finally teleported something, a physical object. And when you find somebody like this, if if uh, if if you want to really figure out if you really want to make it like interesting for you, um, see if the people who remember this have the same details. And a couple of the details is that they're going to say, yes, it was an apple, and they're also going to report that it didn't work as planned. The teleportation indeed occurred, but it didn't teleport from position A to position B. Their math was a little off, and it rematerialized the apple somewhere like up in the sky, far away. Like they're like a miles off course. They didn't account for something, and the apple teleported, it disappeared, reappeared, way further than they wanted it to, somewhere like high up in the sky or something. So if those are the types of details that you're hearing now, again, I'm assuming that the vast majority of people who would ever learn about this specific example are not going to spend their time, waste their time, going around, hey, did you ever? But if you are someone who wants to research and study and experiment, ask around. Just periodically ask people about it. Find a way to ask where you're not coming across as too strange, and if you do find that person, and it's not a person who has a fuzzy memory, and maybe it was a book, maybe it wasn't a book, maybe it was a movie, maybe it was real, but you have someone who says, yes, I remember that. And then all of a sudden, when I tried to look it up again, because I hadn't heard anyone talk about it, and it was months later, I looked it up and there was no trace, no record. And that person is like, found it very weird that the Apple teleportation thing is like, there's no trace of it. So if you find people out there, and you're on the fence about like things like the Mandela effect, it'll help it'll help um, help you come to a sorry, this isn't coming out right here, but it'll help you feel better at coming to a conclusion on the validity of if this is really happening or not when you're talking to these people, and they've never met each other in their whole lives, but yet they have the same types of specific details. So that's just one of those less common Mandela effects that is out there, and maybe you'll come across people who can verify that.